Patty Dingle and her witness, Tamara, say they worked with the defendant at a nightclub, and they were all good friends until the defendant started dating his current girlfriend. Patty's suing her friend today for a loan. Defendant Tony Bickle says he and Tamara were intimately involved for a period of time. And after Patty found out, she became jealous because she wanted to be with Tony. Tony insists he never asked Patty for the loan.
All right, let me hear from you first.
Well, Tony, he's been my friend for like over 10 years. I mean, I love him dearly. Obviously, he looks great in a suit. But underneath all that, he's tatted up. He's a rockabilly guy. He rides a motorcycle, and we worked at a nightclub together. He was a house manager. We were the bartenders. Okay. And, it was great. It was really, really great. And then, he really liked the ladies at the time when he was single, which was cool. We kind of talk like guys. We're like guy friends, And then he met this girl, and just stuff changed.
Like what?
Well, all of a sudden, it just really didn't seem like he wanted to be at work, and then all these stories started happening. Like, I remember one time, he said, my girl thinks there's a ghost in the house. There's
That's
cats.
True. There was a ghost in the
There's
house.
cats flying all over, and we're looking at him like he's crazy.
Cats flying and ghosts roaming.
That happened.
Shower doors slamming.
Shower door slamming and all this other stuff. And so he goes out and buys this, ghost meter.
That is not true.
Ghost recorder.
Hey, ghost recorder? Something like that.
Didn't buy any of that
right?
stuff.
Okay,
All right.
so
You didn't buy anything to see if
I
you
didn't.
could
I just shared with my friends what was going on at home with some weird stuff. That's
Why
it.
don't you share it with us?
The only thing that was weird at my house that she's going into, I don't know why she is because, we just had some noises, some doors opening and closing, and according to my girlfriend, one time a cat got lifted up and tossed her down the stairs. I know that sounds weird. I know how it sounds, but it's true. It happened.
You all still live there?
Yeah.
Did it just stop?
Actually, yeah, it did. It just stopped. We had actually asked it, please, leave us alone, leave the house, and I guess that worked. I know how it sounds.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys have a pit bull in the house, and he didn't hear the ghost. You guys she shot a gun in the middle of the night. She thought a ghost was coming to get her.
I don't even know why this stuff's coming up right now.
It's just
We're here
true.
about.
Well, basically, this girl came into the picture, and I saw my friend totally change. Personally, I think he's completely whipped on her, and you know what? It basically kind of just put a little wedge there. He wasn't the fun guy at
You
the
haven't
club
told me
anymore.
anything that changed.
I can
other
explain.
than he got a girlfriend,
He
and
lost his job.
clearly he wasn't hanging out.
See, I can
as
explain
much
that.
as
He lost
was.
his job. He doesn't work at the club
Why?
anymore.
Because he had a girlfriend?
I think it's because he was taking care of her, doing whatever he was doing. This girl does not work.
He
either.
couldn't come to work on time?
No,
or
they
something?
laid a whole bunch of people.
Hold on. He couldn't come to work on time?
He wanted to spend time with her. He wanted to
Man,
cuddle
you
up
haven't
and
told
cupcake
me
with this girl.
anything he has done wrong at work to get fired.
I don't know the details of why he got fired, but he got fired.
Okay.
That's all
And it
right.
has nothing to do with the girl.
I think it does.
In what way?
Well, when you have someone who's a house manager at a club who doesn't have the energy to be there because they want to be home cupcaking with their girl, that's not doing your job.
Did she ever want you or
See,
something?
this is where we're getting there, huh?
You know what? Can I say something?
Okay, that's what that is.
I think
All
Tony,
right.
I think he's
now?
attractive.
I'm trying to
If he were a
understand
girl, we
why
might have a
she's so
chance.
mad with your woman.
Thank
It's all
you.
about because you went home and made love to your woman and it made you weak. And it made you weak.
Look at him.
You couldn't work
Oh, he was
properly
weak.
the next day.
Weak.
Before we get
Weak.
to the loan, let me hear your side.
Thank you. Yeah, so we were friends for 11 years. 8 of those we worked together
still
at the club.
are.
Still
Not
are
were.
friends. I still love them both, and they're both really generous, awesome people. Anyhow, so 8 of those 11 years, whatever, we worked together, right? And then we were really close, always running around together. Everybody there was really close, but I was especially close with them. We were tight friends. And all of that changed. Yeah, all of that changed, I think, 3 years ago when I met the girl that I'm with now and fell in love and entered into the relationship I'm currently in. And I think the reason why our friendship changed is because for a brief stint there, Tamara and I were kind of, riding the hobby horse. And
Riding the hobby horse. That's
yes.
what they refer to it now?
coaching.
All right.
well, back then maybe. And I think, I know Patty prefers women, but I think after she found out about Tamara and I, maybe she
Oh, wow.
wanted me to show it to her. I don't know. And then so when she helped me out when my dog was sick and in the hospital.
Well, we're gonna get to that. That's
okay.
the loan
Well,
you're
not to
suing
jump
about.
in. Yeah, I think that's when our friendship changed because I feel like she's punishing me with this now to like either keep me close or because neither one of them could rope me in. You know.
Well,
Like I said, if he were a
will
chick,
you drop
he'd
it
be
if he
cool.
quits his girlfriend? Will you drop the lawsuit? What are you suing him about, ma'am, other than his girlfriend? Unpaid loan. How does he owe you for that?
Okay, his dog was in the hospital about to die.
When was this?
This was in April of 2008.
All right.
Okay, Tamara and I were at lunch. He called Tamara. I saw the look on her face. I heard what was going on. I said, give me the phone. We got to save Seamus's life. I will pay for this. I'm an animal lover. And it was basically just an operation, you know? Otherwise, he would have died.
Good.
And I don't regret it at all. But
And
3 years later, come on.
What was the agreement regarding repayment?
I knew he couldn't pay it all off at one time. So I said, hey, look, pay it back to me monthly, you know, bi-monthly, whenever you get paid. Charge a little bit of interest because I put it on my credit card because it was over the phone.
Okay.
We had to do it fast.
You had to pay the interest on your credit card.
We had to do it fast.
See, I didn't
How much
ask for
was
any of
that?
it.
How much was the interest?
The interest was roughly like 7.9% on my card. I have a pretty low.
What was the cost of the surgery?
$3,680.
Has he paid you anything
He's paid me roughly $1,165.
for the interest?
Yeah, I will take that as a wash. Just give me the principal.
All right.
Let's be done with it.
Sir? Mm-hmm. What do you say?
The reason why I feel we shouldn't be here arguing over it is I never asked her to pay my vet bill. You know, when I called and spoke to Tamara and I was a mess because, you know, my dog was about to die and explaining the situation, when I got Patty on the phone, she asked me what I was going to do to pay for this, you know, because how much was it going to be when I told her
What
how much.
would you have done had she not given you the money?
You know, Patty's a sweetheart. She goes, you know, why don't you put it on my card? At that time I said, I don't think I should because friends, you know, when money gets involved, it can mess stuff up. She asked if she could speak to the vet, and when I handed the phone to the receptionist at the vet, Patty gives her her credit card information, God bless her, and pays it. But I never like, hey, please pay my
Did
vet
he have
bill.
an alternative means that he was about to use?
Absolutely, at 20%, he's my friend, like I told you. That was outrageous to me.
It was
I was
high.
giving him a better deal. And to counter that, they could have canceled it. You know, anytime you put a payment on a card, you can cancel that.
Can I say something though? Tony, they didn't approve you of the whole, they didn't approve you of the whole amount. They
Well,
never
it was
did.
whatever it was they needed originally.
All right, so what are you saying? It was a gift?
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure if it was a gift, but it wasn't necessarily.
Okay.
No, honestly,
so-
honestly, it's not like it was a
didn't have-
loan with a contract that I signed. It was like it happened like that, and I have been making payments on because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I have all kinds of evidence of him agreeing to paying me monthly.
Let's see it.
Okay. I have a recorder with him
What has he
saying
said?
how sorry he is.
Let me hear it, what you have.
Yes, okay.
Hey Patty, this is Tony Bickle calling. It's on my head every single day that I wake up. Anyhow, not a sob story. I understand where you're coming from. If anything you need done, I mean, I'll wash your feet with my tears and dry them with my hair. I'll fix your house up. I'll wash your car. Anything you need in the meantime to show that I'm not ignoring you. And there we go.
You say you'll wash her feet with your...
It's a phrase.
Wash my feet with his tears
And dry my hair.
them with his hair.
It's just a joke. It's a phrase.
And you know,
But she's skipping a whole part here.
For someone to say that I didn't have to do that, I went on a loan calculator. I figured out payment plans. For 2 more years, I was willing to deal with this as long as he was consistent.
Yeah, but then, Your Honor, she cut it all off. All of a sudden, after I, start dating this girl, she slams the communication door on me. She stopped talking to me. She didn't want to.
The money stopped coming too. So
I had just gotten laid off, and so I didn't ask her to understand about it or whatever. But I mean, like, if I had missed a payment, I tried to make it up later on, and if I couldn't, I tried to explain it to her.
However, sir, you did enter into an agreement with these texts that I'm reading. More money coming, and I will try to make it more structured. So he has made every attempt. I'm convinced that he is a friend who wants to do right by you, but financially he's unable to. However, I'm going to have to order you to do so. Anyhow, sir, judgment for the plaintiff, $3,680. Have a good day.
thank you. Tony, I have never had a crush on you.
Well,
I wish you were a girl, you know?
Well, what was I supposed to think when you stopped all communication, didn't want to talk to me anymore just because I got a new girlfriend? Did you hear what you were saying?
Yes, I know. But I know it seems like that. Maybe it was because of other stuff. But you know what? I really didn't.
Fair enough.
All right.
Love you, Patty.
Give you a kiss, too.
Ooh.